not married.
What's good, everybody? I'm going to be continuing with the 2018 Oscar Awards for Best Picture. So we're going through all those movies in the Best Picture category if this is your first time tuning in. Just in case you want to check something out, I'm just giving you a heads up on which ones are good, what they're about, and if they're worth your hard-earned money to go check out or even buy the Blu-ray nowadays. The movie I'm talking about today is The Phantom Thread. It was directed by Thomas Anderson. He also did Boogie Nights for all you freaky folks out there. And he also did There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis also. This movie, Phantom Thread, stars Daniel Day-Lewis as Reynolds Woodcock, Leslie Manville as his sister Cyril, and Vicky Krieps, sorry if I mispronounced your name, as the love interest Alma. This movie is about a gentleman, Reynolds Woodcock, who makes dresses for the richest of the rich. The royalty, the debutantes, the socialites, our versions of the Kim Kardashians and Paris Hiltons, I guess you could say, and the Queen of England and the presidents and all that stuff. Well, he dates women and draws inspiration from them just time after time, and he usually uses his sister to dismiss these women once the inspiration is gone, so to speak. This usually lasts, just a few months in time. He uses them to model his dresses in these little fashion shows, and maybe she's a redhead, maybe this was a blonde, and they're different figures and whatnot. So he just draws that inspiration. Even women that are flat-chested, have big butts, or just different, women, he gets different things from them. But he is a very rude, ritualistic, monotonous type of person where every day he does his routine and he has to have everything a certain way. Like, he demands absolute perfection from everybody around him. He uses his dresses and his status as a weapon to get people to act a certain way around him, to control everything around him, because everybody want to be in one of his dresses. Everybody want to be in that social, I guess you want to call it, setting of being in that the richest of the rich, So he uses that as a weapon against people. But usually the women that he dates doesn't care about his fashion, doesn't care about the dresses. They just want to be around him and sort of be like a leech on him. And they're nice. I mean, they're not evil women. They're not mean women. He treats them badly and they just want to be around him. So in essence, they're victims of him and his life. So when Alma comes along, she doesn't play a victim to this. She doesn't kiss his ass. She doesn't fall down and lay down for his sister and let her control everything in the house. No, she tells the sister, I have to know him in my own way. She challenges him about his boring ass rules and his rituals and his monotonous routine. She changes the routine. She gives like surprises and makes dinners on days when you're not supposed to do that. You see what I mean? She sends everybody away from the house and says, I need to know you in my own way. Well, he didn't respond to this in kind, I would say. He was a real asshole to everything she tried to do to change the routine, but it eventually changed. It changed in the most, I guess you can call it, underhanded way. She uses poison mushrooms to basically poison him and break his ass down. She broke him down to his core, to where he was on the bed throwing up. He couldn't get out the bed for days. He missed work. He had a dress to make for a lady who was going to be princess, and he'd been making dresses for her whole life. And, well, he couldn't even get out the bed to make that dress because he was poisoned from those mushrooms. And during that whole time, well, she was there for him. She babied him. She took care of him. She nurtured him. And she stood up for him. A lady that got drunk in one of his dresses, she really cared about that dress. She went to that lady's room and got him to go to that lady's house and got the dress back. She said that, no, you're too drunk to wear our dress. You're not going to be a part of this. And by her doing those things, changing the routine, caring about his fashion and the dresses, and getting him to stand up to the lady and going back to get the dress, breaking his ass down, and then, I guess you can call it bringing him back up because she nursed him back to health after she poisoned him. All these things got Woodcock to understand that, first of all, he needed to get broken down, and he needed her. Because in the end, he knew that she poisoned him because she did it again. anytime he would start to get into his moods where he would be abusive towards the people around him, like not physically abusive, I'm talking about emotionally as far as his words. Anytime he would start to be that way and turn into that guy, well, the next meal he ate, his ass to have some mushrooms in there. And for the next day or two, he was going to be throwing up and and he knew because they laughed about it in the end. But at the same time, she changed his life. So this was a sick, twisted, morbid, mutually abusive love story with great acting. I thought that this movie used the script to pack a lot of words, a lot of meaning into a short amount of words, if that make any sense. So they will be having dinner and the sister is talking, or Daniel Day-Lewis, who plays the character of Reynolds Woodcock, he'll be talking, or Alma will be talking, and they use just 4 or 5 word sentences, but within those sentences are just some of the words that just cut you to the bone, but they're always saying it in the most polite, almost whispering voice, and it was very monotone, and so that was really drew me in about this movie, was just the way that they use words to hurt, but they use them in short bursts, like almost machine gun bursts, where it was just a quick burst, but if you ask it a quick burst of machine gun bullets, it's still gonna hurt like a motherfucker. So that's what they did in this movie. I felt like really the most. I didn't really fall in love with any cinematography or anything like that, because I don't think it was about that. The one thing that they did was they used close-ups on the characters' faces to almost make you feel like you were the one taking that abuse. You were the one hearing those hurtful words. I found myself feeling what Alma felt, the awkwardness in some scenes where she's seeing this weird relationship with the brother and sister to almost it's motherly and son-like, but she was in the room also as his lover, and the camera would pan in right up on her face, almost to where you can feel that awkwardness. I was like, damn, this is weird. I felt that. And the camera, the director, he used that perfectly to really just zoom in and make you feel what that character was feeling. When I said about the character Leslie Manville, who plays Cyril, the sister, she is perfect. I want to see her in more movies, because I haven't seen a character so cold in my life, but she didn't kill nobody through the whole movie. But I felt like she did. I felt like she was almost an evil character, but she was the nicest, most politest of all of them. But it's just the way that she delivered that dryness. I'm going to put a link in the description for a scene for you to check out, where she's at the dinner table talking to Daniel Day-Lewis, and she basically tells him, if you ever try to pick a fight with me, I'll kick your ass and I'll kill you, and it wouldn't even be close. But she does it without even looking at him, as she's drinking her morning coffee, in the most quiet, politest way you can do it. And that's exactly what brings the essence of this movie to be what it is. But you know what? In all that it is, it's not the best picture of the year.
I actually think this movie is about a 7 or 8 out of 10. I don't think it's Daniel Day-Lewis's best work. I think it's very different than what you're used to seeing from him, which is what we get out of every role. So I guess I wasn't surprised with that. I do think it was other movies nominated this year that actually were a little bit better than this one. I do think it's worth seeing. If you are a diehard Daniel Day-Lewis fan, then yeah, you can go get the Blu-ray, have this in your collector set. But if you just like good film and you want to give it a run through a couple times, yeah, you could rent it just to, check it out. It is worth a few dollars on a rental. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. I do think there were a couple of other movies that were better this year than The Phantom Thread. But all in all, I do think it's worth checking out if you are a lover of film. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with anything I said in this review. If you love this movie or you disliked it, just let me know. I do think it's worth seeing, about a 7, 8 out of 10. But that's just my opinion. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Much appreciated, y'all. And I'll catch your ass out there in the universe. Peace.
You can shut right up. Don't pick a fight with me. You certainly won't come out alive. I'll go right through you, and it'll be you who ends up on the floor. Understood?